anybody is single, they can do whatever they want.
Stop slut-shaming gay men as well. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the gays.
I think men slut-shame women who are more sexually active than they are.
As a man, we need to start this change from our heart, from our mind.
Well, hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Karma Couch. So it's me, Annabella Rose, your expert dating coach from Kamalifestyles.com, and this handsome chappy is Emre, also another CEO and dating coach of Kamalifestyles.com. And today we're going to debate a very interesting topic. Should people be ashamed of being sexual? So to elaborate, i.e. slut-shaming.
I have lots to talk about it, actually.
I've got lots to say about this subject.
And I'm sure that you have a lot as well, right? And it's a very sensitive topic at the same time.
You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. You'll see loads more content coming from us. But now, we're going to dive into it.
So what's our question, Annabella?
Should people be ashamed of being sexual?
They shouldn't be ashamed. Why would they ashamed?
Well, right, so
It's a human nature. We shouldn't be ashamed. If you're ashamed, actually you need to dive deep and understand why you're ashamed, because you shouldn't be ashamed.
Exactly.
Because of your sexuality. No one should
Sexuality.
be ashamed because of their sexuality or how they feel.
No.
That is wrong.
Definitely.
If someone making you feel shame about your sexuality, what you feel, or even like sometimes expressing your desires, that's wrong.
Get rid of them. Get them out of your
Definitely.
life.
You should stand up for your feelings at all times.
Yeah. So specifically, I would say, felt by females that being sexual is not the right thing to do. It's not as socially as acceptable as one would want it to be. There is still that slut shaming in the sense that if you've been with too many people, you are degraded by some reason, and I really don't understand it.
Okay, let me explain you. Okay, for example,
Hit me with it.
I never heard in the family that my sister got laid, for example.
Yeah, but you're not going to hear around the dinner table.
I never, but like I tell you something, when I get laid, everybody heard about it because my dad told everybody. You know what? He got laid last night. Including my neighbors. You know, I could see him talking about me. You know, it's like when I told him that I got laid the night before, you know, it's like...
I wish I'd been at that dinner table.
Talk around, you know, it's like telling him my mom, everybody, you know, but I never heard my sister getting laid in the family.
But she has,
like
right?
My neighbors the next, but even the next day, right? Even my neighbors, you know, used to pull me, oh, you got laid? That's an idea, I heard it. And I said, well, yeah. And then I used to tell them the story, but like, okay, so where we are going with this story? Actually, society favors men to get laid, pretty much. And then they take a pride of it, like your family will take a pride of it if you get laid as a man. But if you're women,
not so much.
It's not so much.
Not so much.
It's silence. You know,
It isn't.
It's silence. Like your sister doesn't come home and say, you know, I get laid last night. It doesn't happen. You know, it's like,
yo, mum, guess what I did?
You know.
Like, doesn't happen.
Have you ever said that?
No.
There you go.
No.
Annabella Rose.
No. Okay, so I don't have any brothers, so I don't have a direct comparison of that weird sexual dinner table talk that your family goes through. Strange. But I know that my mum, if she's watching this video, turn it off, mum. Run away from YouTube. Don't click any of the links. You don't want to see it.
Because we'll talk the truth now.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay it on the line. So run away, mum. So she as a human being isn't very sexual. She's still in that in the era of which you got married. That's when you started one man. That's the era of which she lived in. That is long gone.
Are you talking about 50s, 60s?
50s, 60s.
Where there was again one wage.
Yeah.
Men used to lead in the family at all times. Bring the wage, look after the family.
Exactly.
And women was in the kitchen.
Yeah. That old tale.
We've come a long way, 50 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people still think that we're living in that time and we're not. But it has
Well, what happened then? You know, what happened?
So what happened was
They got their sexual freedom.
Yeah, they They still don't have it yet. I don't think they have it.
Come on.
I don't think they completely have it yet. We're on the way. Oh, we are breaking down barriers. We are knocking them down, and we are getting laid left, right, and centre. But
Probably, I am very good finding women who is sexually free. I can find them easily. Always.
It's like a radar. Like, oh, hello. No, so the thing that changed, right? So we went from 50s, 60s, that era in which men were the bread earners, women were in the kitchen, and then because society and the economy and the infrastructure and businesses were more based on manual labour. That's what I'm getting at. It was a manual labour driven society in the sense that men, because they are genetically more physically fit, were the ones that went out in the mines and doing all the building and doing that. And then as we shifted
automation
to a more
office work, jobs.
Yeah, white collar jobs, more of an intellectual based
and technological developments. You're talking about technology went ahead,
skyrocketed.
Yes, and then after 60s, birth control pills. So it gave women actually sexual freedom.
Exactly. So they moved into a place, and we've moved into a place where it's now level pegging when it comes to jobs, because it's based on your brain, not your physical abilities, where men used to be the front runners. But now, because it's more brains, that everybody goes out to work now. Women go out to work, and especially you need a lot more money to raise a family now.
Are you saying that actually people are who slut shame, they're following old social programming?
Yes. They are literally, they haven't changed with the times.
Yeah, so they haven't changed their mindset, their values, principles.
Yeah. The people who still think that women can't be sexually free because they need to be owned by one man, and they need to, that's all it is, that we're the belongings of someone.
I would like my date, for example, my girlfriend belongs to me. So what do you mean about it?
But you can't then deny her history.
It's not my problem.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Exactly. That's fine. In the moment, that's fine. But you can't judge somebody when they're single and they're not in a relationship if they want to do what they want. So you're saying the girls when they're single then? Or when they're in a relationship? What do you mean?
Because like my point is, I don't share my women. That's my point.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying.
Right. So I'm not saying.
No, I'm not saying that people should just sleep with whoever they want when they're in a relationship. I'm saying that when women are single.
Good. So let's separate that. Yeah. When women are single, yeah.
When anybody is single, they can do whatever they want.
So that's a different thing now, guys. So sexual freedom doesn't mean that you have to go and sleep around as a woman when you're in a relationship.
I'm not saying that. No.
So
I'm not saying that.
So we cleared it up. Yeah, good.
If there was any confusion, that's not what I mean.
Right.
I mean, when a woman is single, but when you're going out on a date with her, would you judge a woman by her sexual past?
No, I don't care.
Would it shade your opinion? I think a lot of men let it shade their opinion.
But that's a different thing, okay? Like there's a slut shaming, for example. We need to understand why do people slut shame girls and women, that's profoundly wrong. Like as I explained, like guys are studs, girls are sluts. That's kind of hypocrisy, if you ask me. From man perspective, I see this as a hypocrisy, and it's man-made. And I do feel sorry actually that it happened. A group of men or group of society slut shame women because of their sexual desires or their sexual preferences even. That's not correct. So like in that sense actually, society created a double standard for men, favored men to have sex, which is the gates are open, than if you had sex, for example, 100, 200, 300 women.
They're like,
it's like you're a playboy. But like if women slept, for example, more than 10 guys and they brand them as you're a slut. So that's not correct. Like, I'll take it further actually. Some guys, they won't date women if they notice that actually peer group or the society calls her slut. That's why women are very, very cagey about the topic, because like they don't want to call slut. Because like if they are branded as a slut, guys won't date them. Or like they will have a problem in the society taking their place. So like this is kind of like bullying as well. You know, when I see this as bullying, direct bullying women. No. I 100% disagree with this slut-shaming. It doesn't go well with me. I think that I don't like guys either who slut-shame, you know? It's not a good thing to do.
No.
So if you're doing it, stop it. It's not a good thing, you know?
Stop it. Stop it right now. Who are you? Stop it. Yeah, so I'm going to overshare.
Yeah.
Me, I've been with more than 10 men. I'm free. I'm single. And I've been single for a long, long time.
She's single, guys.
And I'm a certain age, of which, you know, I've been single for a long, long time. I've done different contracts. I've been in and around.
Lifestyle, you know,
oh God, yeah. My lifestyle is so fluid. I'm here, there, and everywhere. Like if you follow me on social media or anything, you know that I am here, there, and everywhere. My life is mental. So for me to have a...
By the way, Annabella travels a lot.
Yes.
She does a lot of residential training in different countries, in different time. So she's our dating coach who flies around regularly to train guys and meet them in different locations.
Yeah, I have such a fluid life in the sense that I'm never in one place for a long period of time. So it does, for me, it's difficult to have long-term relationships. So I end up going from sort of fling to fling. I meet somebody that I really connect with and then life seems to get in the way, so then I move on to somebody else. And over the years that I've done that, I have accumulated a total of people that may be higher than average. I have been slut-shamed. I've been slut-shamed by my friends. I've been slut-shamed by men.
I don't like that.
Yeah. They didn't go down well. Did not go down well for them, because you don't open that kettle of fish with me, because men want this very funny unicorn of a woman. They want somebody who's fantastic in bed but has only ever been with one person, and that is bull. You cannot understand the complexities of sex straight off the bat without experiencing different experiences, and it is all it's part of human nature. It is, and you have to be willing to accept it, that people go through different phases, emotionally, physically, different things, and people come into their lives and go, and it isn't going to be forever, but you learn something new from every person. And to then call somebody a slut because they've shared times with multiple people.
I think that this is man-made, okay, definitely. You know, it's like, I think that we can stop it easily. You just don't do it. Stop. Because it is bullying, and it's not correct, it's not helping you well, it will never serve you well. I know a few women actually, like, they would live in a actually fear, you know, literally, you know, if their boyfriends find out that if they called slut, you know, they would be dumped. They were actually living in a fear of this. And honestly, guys, I know a lot of guys as well, they wouldn't date a girl if they hear that actually she's been called slut. And they wouldn't even question actually, would it be true or not? He wouldn't even look at the facts. So if you ask me, this is very prejudice.
I'm interested to know, now that I've put that out there to the world, what will arise in the comment box. Because I'm obviously putting myself out on a very public platform and saying things that not everybody will agree with. And, you know, it has to be, somebody has to be brave enough to talk about it. And I will be that person. We're living in a new world. It's not the olden times. Women are powerful, strong, independent, and are accomplishing great things. The good thing is that men and women are reaching this point where they both can accomplish so many things and push the human race forward. If you try and suppress anything in anyone, whether it be because of their sex, their sexual nature, anything, you are ruining humanity. Really, to put it that way, because you're trying to suppress things so you can get ahead. And that, to me, correlates in slut-shaming, because you're trying to suppress somebody and make them feel bad because you want to deem better than them. What, just because you slept with less people, you're suddenly more holy and better? How does the amount of people that you've been with correlate to somebody's worth? It doesn't. It doesn't. It's not a direct thing. Because you can say whatever you want about me because of my tally of people, but I am very empathetic. I will help anybody in need. I will sit here and I will help you become a more confident person. I'm very open, I'm very honest, and I'm very authentic. Now, a lot of these things are hard to come by in women. So are you going to judge me for my one perceived flaw that society has put upon me?
Is that a flaw, actually? Just a minute. I don't see that as a flaw. If women goes ahead and sleep more than 10 men, 100 men, that is not a flaw. That's not being slut either. If a guy actually favors his sexuality and you know what, if he says, you know, I want to be a player, you know, I want to be a stud, I want to bang a few hundred hotties, society says there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But if women does it, if the society says, you know what, you can't do it, you know, I think that in this current society, with this structure we are living in, that's not correct.
I think
that that's direct the bullying.
Yeah.
And which is, I don't agree with that. And I think that, like, as a man, we need to start this change from our heart, from our mind, and let go of the past, whatever we had, and then start a new beginning and stop slut-shaming women, or even stop slut-shaming gay men as well. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the gays. We should leave everybody
nothing wrong
alone,
with the gays. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think people
leave my gay shirt alone as well.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with my gay shirts. Leave my gay shirts alone.
I love them. I think they're great. But it's so funny how much weight people put on people's sexual indiscretions.
Yeah.
But if you meet somebody in the street and you bond with them and you have this connection with them, why would what they do in the privacy of their home, in their own bedroom, what they do in their own time, why the hell does that concern you? It shouldn't concern you. That is an element of them that is their own personal private business. And people somehow, to touch on the homosexual community, that they take it upon themselves that they have a voice in what happens in that person's bedroom. And I don't think that that's right. I think there needs to be what you put out into the world and who you are as a person by the actions that you do and the good deeds that you are, and your heart and your soul comes out in good morals and good actions. Why then would you bear weight of anything that they do in the privacy of their bedroom? It's an element of someone's personality and someone's history that doesn't matter.
Highly controlled before. Go back to medieval times, you know, it's like the religious values, you know, religion said pretty much like, you know, about sex is bad, it's a sin. So it formed a social programming from the early ages. Women heard all those like paradigms from their parents, from their religious leaders, you name it. Actually now the things are different, you know, the society changed, technology is changed, man changed, everybody's changed.
Everything is changed.
So I think that like these things are like now socially pressurizing women and creating really guilt on them. So I think that like this should change.
Yeah,
this should change.
And it's only going to change if we talk about it.
Because otherwise, like opposite sex will feel the guilt. We're going to make them feel more guilty. It's not going to help. It's not going to be positive. They'll feel negative about it. And you know what? It's going to make your job very difficult to get a date or get laid. So you
this is the thing.
About it, you know?
It's the acknowledgement. If you want to get laid because you enjoy the action of sex and the way that it makes you feel and what you get from it, to be naive and think that women don't get the same is ridiculous, because women actually can get a lot more from sex. Hello, multiple orgasms. It's a thing. Like it's an expression of the human body. And
guys, Annabella is very good on it. You know that she wrote a book. Get a girl crazy. Man, check that out, by the way. There's so many strategies in it about the multiple orgasms. Technically, I read the book and I learned a lot. And I tested. And it fucking works.
I remember the day after you read the multiple orgasm sections and you were like, oh yeah, just to let you know, you were right. I was like, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Actually, one of our interns actually tested it as well. So we got a great feedback. Currently he's in a relationship.
Yeah, he is getting laid all the time. Yes. So, and it works. It works because when you allow, If you allow a female to express her sexual desires, you will unleash an absolute little fiery vixen that will rock your world. If you try and suppress that element of women, you will have boring, mundane sex forever, because she won't want to let go. She won't want to express herself because she will be concerned about the way that she's supposed to behave. And I honestly, truly, to my core, disagree with anybody who will slut shame. Fair enough. You know what? If you don't want to go out there and you don't want to be sexual, that's also fine. You don't have to go out, and if you want to save yourself for marriage, I truly respect that, because that is your own personal value. But under no circumstances is your personal value and your personal opinion fact. Nobody should have to live up to your own perceived view of the world, because then you create unrealistic expectations of everybody around you, and everyone will let you down, and everything will be wrong and negative, and you will fall out with people because they can't align with your view of the world. But no one will ever have your exact view of the world, because everybody grows up differently, everybody is exposed to different things, everybody has different beliefs, and you have to acknowledge everybody's differences and don't judge people by it. I will never judge anybody. You can do whatever you want. If I think you're a good person in your soul, your actions, what you do, what job you have, how much money you are, how many people you've been with, how you choose to date women, what you choose to do, doesn't bother me. Literally doesn't bother me. If I think you're a good person in your soul, that's all that's necessary. And this is what it comes down to with slut shaming. Just because a person is sexual doesn't mean they're not a great, awesome human being. That literally, the two isn't a direct relation with each other. Just because you've been with a certain amount of people doesn't then degrade you. And yet somehow we still live, because there's still people about. Admittedly, we are breaking down these barriers and we are pushing through it.
What are the profile of people, do you think, that who slut shames? Let's talk about it. What sort of men slut shame? What sort of women slut shame? Do women slut shame, for example? Let's start with that. Do women slut shame?
Yes.
Men?
Oh, it's women slut shame.
Do women slut shame men, actually?
Yes. You know when they go, oh, guys are assholes. They're all assholes. That none of them are any good. That is their version of slut shaming, because the man has gone out and has multiple options, and yet somehow that makes them a bad person, which I fundamentally disagree with. If you get involved with a guy, relationship, dating, sexual, whatever, if there's honesty involved and you're honest about your intentions and what you intend to do with that person, how exclusive you want to be and what else you want to get up to, if there's honesty involved, you can't have a go at that guy if he said, hey, I want to play the field, and then he plays the field. At what point can you then go, well, you're an arsehole? It's not. It's been honest about you. You get into the problem when guys say they want a relationship with you, and then they don't. But that's a whole different subject.
What Annabelle is saying, you gotta be honest, guys, about your intentions. If you're a player, you can directly tell her that, you know what, I'd like to play in the field.
Yeah, honey, you go for it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Protect yourselves at all times. It's like
that is a subject. Yes, always be safe. Ladies, take precaution. Men, be responsible, because it does take two to tango. So you do have to take responsibility for your input.
Yes.
Your input.
I never heard of it.
If you catch my drift. I'm calling it input, keeping it clean for YouTube. But your input in that situation. So always be safe. Always do that. Obviously, you have to take responsibility, because, you know, if you are sexually active, you do have to be mature about it. End of full stop. 100%. That's what you need to do.
So what sort of women slut shame men then?
Angry women.
All right. So they're angry with something.
Angry with men, angry with society. They've got a chip on their shoulder. It's kind of like a two-way street. If they feel like men have suppressed them, that they can't be sexual, they will then be annoyed that a guy can be so free.
Is it?
You know what I mean?
Like a sexual frustration.
If society has told you anything that goes against your personal nature, you then get angry at society for putting you in that box and making you feel that way. So when it comes in regards to slut shaming and being openly sexual, if a man has taken issue with a woman being sexual and made her feel bad about it, she is going to get really annoyed if he then goes and screws whoever he wants. She's going to get annoyed because of the double standards. It's that battle of double standards that they don't want double standards yet. Maybe they're experiencing it.
So this is coming down to like a profile of person is like they're usually negative, angry, whether with society, whether with themselves.
I'd imagine, I'd speculate that those people weren't very comfortable in themselves.
So lacking confidence, you mean?
Yeah, whether it's lacking confidence or not being confident enough to stand up for their values, so they buckle to this societal form of that they think they need to assume. So a lot of girls, I think, assume this: I hate men, they're all the worst. But they're actually not. They don't have the mental maturity to separate guys out and appreciate them for their individual values. Yes, they may have flaws. Yes, they may.
I mean, are they targeting a small number of people that they know? Maybe they have one or two experiences in their life, and it is bad.
And they let that chip on their shoulder, it just festers. And it festers and it grows into the point where that one person did them bad, yet now they just hate all men.
So they generalize it.
So they will generalize it.
So how about men? So what sort of men do you think slut shame?
I think men slut shame women who are more sexually active than they are.
So they do get jealous because women are sexually active and they do get laid and they can't get laid themselves, so they say, you know what, I might as well slut shame them.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not getting, you better not get it.
Yeah. It's the same thing. It works in a way that when women are repressed, they don't like men who are getting it. But then if a woman is free and sexual and a man is struggling, they then get annoyed at them. And it becomes this battle where you can't just appreciate that everybody's got their own thing going on. It's a jealousy and a want and a desire. Instead, it's a human trait. And we do this, and it's really bad, that instead of building people up for what they are, we want to pull people down to our level. That's what we do. Or we pull people down so we can overtake. It's because that's a lot easier than working on yourself that you become a better version. Because that's really hard, and that takes a level of maturity that not a lot of people have to take that step to make themselves better. And so they will drag people down. And that is directly in relation to slut shaming. Instead of working on yourself so you reach this maturity that you understand people and you understand how they work and sexual desires, and you, instead of judging people for it, you drag people down so you don't have to change. You're like, I'm just going to bring you all down to my level, where you could actually work on yourself and be better.
Funny enough, years ago I was working with a client, so I asked him to write down his thoughts about women, you know? And a few thoughts come on. One of them were actually women were sluts. And I said, all right. So you want to date with them, and then you think that they're all sluts. So what do you think that they think about you when you meet with them? Because your belief is women are slut, and you're not getting dates. It's sometimes what you give comes back. So if you give that, well, it comes sevenfold.
If you slut shame a girl, she's not going to sleep with you. And if your intention is to sleep with her, what are you doing shaming her for anything?
It's not working.
It's not going to work. You can't do that. How is that even a logical thought? You can't, this client, you can't think about women in such a negative way.
Dangerous. If you're labeling yourself, or if you're labeling opposite sex in such a way that very negative, it will haunt you back because it won't serve you well. Well, so guys, if you're holding a belief that such a negative belief women are sluts, in the long run, it will never serve you well. Because what you're given to world is not going to come back positive to you, because you will meet women in your day-to-day interactions. You will approach them, you will work with them. They're part of your society, they are in your family. So believing some negative thought women are sluts simply shoot you in the foot.
I'd also be very careful. You know how celebrities did one sexist tweet 10 years ago and it comes out and ruins their lives? It's very similar to this. You will change. And maybe you don't agree now, maybe you don't see eye to eye, but the way in which you voice your opinions and vocalize your own opinions may come back and bite you in the behind. You do have to be tolerant of everybody's personal views and opinions on life and their actions. If you're not doing anything illegal, then really everything in between is up to the person, and it's their own choices in life, you know, and you shouldn't be casting judgments on the way that they behave, because when you do, not only is that person putting themselves out there in a way that can be perceived negatively, but you're also judging them, and that judgment can be perceived negatively by a large quantity of people as well.
Also confront your own reality as well. If you're slut shaming, what is the drive behind it? Because there's a reality over there. Like most of the time I confront an issue like this even with my friends, or like if I hear it, actually the reason is that usually it's like internal. So it's not actually external. So you need to go back to your internal sources and find out what is the drive.
Something will have triggered it at some point.
Yes, and you're projecting that to women by slut shaming, so it shouldn't be
Whether
done.
it comes from maybe you were with somebody and they cheated on you, and that negative connotation of how that woman treated you, you then broadcast it and again typecast women as sluts and slut shaming anybody who is sexually free, that they're going to do the same to you and they're going to bring those negative feelings to you. And it's not. Everybody's different. Everybody is different, and you need to learn that whatever bad relationships that you've had, everybody is a new slate. Every person that comes into your life is different, and to carry those chips on your shoulders and let it ruin your future and your future relationships is very unadvisable. So do completely look in yourself and figure out where it's come from. It's probably not your actual belief. It's probably stemming from something that's happened to you, or an experience that you
Past experiences.
It's probably in there somewhere.
Well guys, thank you very much for watching Kama TV today.
Yeah.
We just at the end of our conversation. Well guys, like, share, comment and subscribe. And
Yes.
also don't forget to check out our services at kamalifestyles.com. We've got various of ebooks and services. And if you have any questions, give us a call.
If you have
Send us
any
an email.
feedback, especially for this video, because we've skimmed the top. This subject goes really,
Yes.
really deep through society. Different cultures and different people in different places will have huge variance of what they believe and think about this subject. So please do drop it in the comment box below. Let's get talking. We'll break down some barriers. We'll learn some new things. Maybe we'll do like a little up-to-date recap with some of your questions. We can do another Karma Couch episode. But until then, if you do need our help and our services, you know what to do. Click on the link below. Click on the card above. Over here.
Go to kamalifestyles.com.
Yeah, all of our services, all of our ebooks, we are here for you. Drop us an email, we'll be in contact, and we could really be changing your life.
Guys, our customer service is very active. They'll come back to you less than 24 hours.
Good old George, he's on it. Good old George. But anything you need, do let us know. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all of our social media that you can find in the description box below. And yeah, we'll see you next time on Karma TV.